we are ready, Markel.
Thank you. We will now move on to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Made a motion. Is there a second?
Second. I'll second it.
As written, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The meeting agenda has been approved. We will now move on to the approval of the previous minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Ms. Hurd. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Ms. White. All in favor say aye.
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 The ayes have it. We will now move on to the 2025 through 2030 strategic plan, which we, if I'm not mistaken, will approve today.
So we're gonna call you. So for sorry, Markel, what'd you say?
We'll now move on to the 2025 through 2030 strategic plan, which we discussed the previous meeting, and I believe today will be the day we finalize that.
Okay.
After discussion.
Perfect. Okay. So we will move right along into our agenda as well as our slides for today. I'm going to pull that up and share my screen. Can everybody see the slide presentation?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yep.
And so we are, as we look at our strategic plan, we have some discussion items as well as some informational item reports from our CCRBI results as well as our cluster advisory team. And for us, we have a few different action items for today that Mr. Copeland shared out. And so what we have, when we look at where we are for today, we have all the way through step number 5, where we are approving our strategic plan and ranking our objectives for the fiscal year of 27. So time is moving right along. After that, we will have a business, we will be going into the budget after we've identified and rank ordered our objectives for the next school year. And so today we're going to review and discuss that strategic plan and add any new information or new items that we want to for approval for today. And so this is our proposed strategic plan for the 25 through 2030 school years. And so we did modify the mission. You'll see that at the top left, where we are looking at, we added the piece about empowering educators to be innovative and scholars to be college and career ready. We also, last session that we had, we were looking at the word for the vision. For our vision is to create versus build. We went with create as our vision statement, using that particular word, and to create a high-performing single-gender exemplar that produces transformational leaders who contribute to the community. In terms
After school
of our
all-stars, the
goals,
main bus is here.
we have by 2030 the percentage of developing and above learners as assessed by the GMAS, EOG/EOC, and of course by 20% overall, that will increase that number. And so that ELA EOG will go from 68 to 88%, for ELA from 71.2% to 91.2%, for 8th grade social studies EOG from 70% to 90%, for US history EOC from 68% to 88%. And so we have that, each of the different content areas, as well as related to our attendance, will increase 15% overall from where we are currently. For middle, we were at 77%. So we're looking to strive and push towards 92%. As for high school, we were at 66%, and we're looking, that should be actually 81% for 15 percentage points higher than 66%. And then as we look at our 12th grade students, looking at accelerated enrollment for AP courses, as well as dual enrollment, as well as our career pathways of which our students are completing a pathway where they have to take 3 years of a particular pathway, and increasing our graduation rate to 100% or remaining where we are at 97%. Any kind of questions or feedback as we look at our strategic plan that's proposed? Or comments or feedback?
No, it looks good to me. I really like the graduation rate, to definitely increase to 100%. How, we can make that happen.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. In terms of our strategic plan, this includes what are our priorities. Those objectives are at the bottom of this. We had 6 previously, and now we have 8 that are on our strategic plan. This is in line with, we wanted to make sure that way each of the different areas that are outlined on the APS strategic plan. And so we are strengthening our instructional core. We are caring for every child. We are sparking student curiosity. Our strength is our team. Our responsibility is shared. Our school is efficient and effective. And so when we look at this, the 2 that we added from what we previously had as a school based on the new areas that were added were, we are sparking student curiosity, where we are expanding opportunities to advance content, as well as our school is efficient and effective. The providing consistent two-way communication, programming, and staffing to keep all stakeholders proactively informed and supported. We did have some small changes that were added on the last meeting. When we look at our strength as our team, we talked about adding SEL for adults. So we added that piece based on our last meeting. We also added, under the first bullet point underneath, we are caring for every child. We talked about integration of SEL, including, in parentheses, including training. And so those were the 2 pieces that we added from what we had from our top 6 before, and we added 2 new priorities for us in terms of our objectives. Does anybody have any feedback or anything that they wanted to add?
I like the idea. We've already started with the SEL for adults based upon the training that was administered by Mr. Tolliver. So woo-woo, that was awesome.
Right. Ms. Pereira, were you going to add something that looked like you about to lean in? Okay.
No,
all right.
no.
So now it is time for us to take action to vote.
Okay, now I would entertain a motion to approve the Vesta Academy 2025 to 2030, strategic plan.
I motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
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 The ayes have it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Copeland. And so now it's going to be important for us to rank order our objectives, because that will influence the budget development process for us. And so we are going to take a look. We have all 8 that are right here. The first 6 are the order in which we had it previously. From starting, the highest priority was to increase family engagement. The bottom 2 are highlighted areas which we added this school year tied to our APS district strategic plan. And so It's time for us to discuss kind of what do we still feel that the highest objective is relating to family engagement. Get the dialogue.
I do.
I do too.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
Why is
Because
that?
it's,
What'd you say, Mr. Principal Williams? What'd you say?
Why is that? Why do you still feel?
Well, I think if we don't get our families continuously to get involved in what we're doing, we're not going to accomplish anything. So you can have all those grand ideas you want on this board, but if we don't have family engagement and a commitment from our community and our families, we're spinning the wheels. We're running on the treadmill, not going anywhere.
I agree as well. I see the customer. I look at school as a business, and the
Yeah.
customer is the parent. If the customer is not happy, then we're not doing what we need to do. We need to make sure that the children are being served, but we have to have the families first, and they
Absolutely.
have to feel like they're an absolute part of that community and be welcoming, to the parent, because we're all a team. And both of us have their children's best interests at heart. So we really are like co-parents in a sense, but we're not. That's
Oh,
just
we
something I
are.
feel.
I love it. I love that. I love that analogy too, because they have to be engaged. If the families are not engaged, if you don't give them that space to feel like that what
Mhm.
they say, their
Yeah.
voice matter, then
Right,
We won't.
what are we doing here? What are we
Yeah,
doing?
we can't
right.
win.
And
Yeah.
we're going to be on two different ends, and it becomes divisive. But when they can see that we have their best interest at heart, regardless of what they've seen on TV, regardless of what their past experience is, we want them to feel welcoming. We want them to
Yeah.
feel involved. We want them to see that we are part of them, a part of
And
their
and
extended lives.
and think about this, Principal Williams. When back in 2007, when the 100 Black Men of Atlanta worked with Dr. Hall, and at that time, Open Best Academy, it was all based on community. Knowing if we couldn't get the community involved, this whole initiative, single gender, wasn't going to work. And here we are, 18 years later, just still continuing to get better at it. But I think that's the sole purpose of us having this school open, as well as with single gender strategies and all boys. But the family is the most important piece here, in my opinion.
I concur with Mr. Singer and Ms. Else Primus.
And I would like to say, as a current parent, that we need to pay attention to the current experiences that are had, not just past experiences, because it's not always positive. And I think that for parents that are active, it can be discouraging. And, I will express that as my personal experience. Especially as somebody who is interested in working for the collective for the whole.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as the two-way communication that was said, I mean, I don't know if that is the best, those are the best words, because the robocalls and text messages, in my opinion, it's not effective, because you get a call. And at this point, I know the number, so I'm not going to answer it. So it's easier for me. But it's so long. Like, the message is every single thing that has to do with the school. And after a while, literally, it goes from the basketball games to whatever games to what's happening academically. So it's like, it has to be a better way to communicate.
So, Ms. Light, can I eject, speak to this? So I'm with the 100 Black Men of Atlanta. We have 260 members in our organization, and that's one way we communicate, and it's effective. Are we going to get all of them to pick it up or listen to the whole message? No. And even with emails, we get I can look in right now. If we send emails to our membership, I can look on there and see how many of our men open that email. So knowing that we're not going to get all of our parents, but for us, at the end of the day, we have to over communicate with our families. Now, me being over Project Success, I over communicate. And is it unfortunately not comfortable with the parents sometimes? It could be. But at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, and as a professional, it makes the most sense to over communicate. And maybe at some point, Principal Williams, if we have a committee for that, we can look at what's sent out to the parents. But it's very important that our parents are informed, over informed, because I don't want any of our parents come to the school and say, well, Principal Williams, we didn't know this, we didn't know that. And that's
Well,
something
that's
that,
what's happening. Because what I'm saying is, I understand what you're saying is that, yes, you want to put all the information in there,
yes,
but if they're not listening to it, then they're not getting it.
And I
we're not
think
going to get
maybe
them
too,
all.
but
Hey.
wait, Singer, I think too that
Mhm.
Light is saying it's how you say it and what you're saying.
I
And
got
how
So
you.
that
often you're saying it.
how
I'm in
often you're
communication
saying it.
as a profession. So, like, I know that how long, on
I got you.
average, somebody is going to listen to a
Yeah.
message.
I
That's
got
just
you.
It's
like
the
a
time spent.
billboard. If you see a billboard, that same billboard, after a while, it becomes wallpaper. You're no
Yeah, if it's
longer
two
paying
minutes long,
attention to.
that's too much. I totally
Correct.
agree.
Correct.
That's
Yep,
what she's saying.
I totally agree with that. Hmm.
So there are other methods, right? So, and I don't know budget wise or if it's whatever, but I know one thing that works well, that at my younger son's school, we use Parent Square, and it's an app. And they push out, I mean, they divide it between the middle school and the elementary school. But most, since I'm in the middle school, most of the information that I receive, although some of it overlaps, but the majority of it is relevant to my child. And so I'm going to pay attention to it, even though I might get a number of alerts a day. I know that it's something that I might need to know. Now, yes, I might miss one. Like they had a free day, they didn't have to wear uniforms. I missed that. But my son, he was like, well, Mom, I was like, oh, somehow I missed that. But then I saw what, because they do, because it is quite a bit of information often. So what I'm just saying is there are better ways. And if you truly want engagement, then we have to explore other ways, because after a while, after 2 minutes, like that's
Become
just too
numb.
long.
Yeah.
Become numb. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just other options to make sure parents are engaged and want to be engaged.
And
Yeah,
how is
because we
that?
have
Oh,
this is like younger generations. Like nobody is listening, like everybody, because of short duration communication and technology and all that, people are conditioned to 15 seconds, really no more than 30 seconds to be able to download what you need to say. 60 is long.
Got it. And so are you saying that, that we may need to rephrase that last one, or how are you?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, let's look at other opportunities, right? So perhaps there's an app, right? If not, perhaps there's a way that we can better get people signed up for our social media. I don't know. I know that our parent liaison, she has her way that she's used to doing it, but we might want to look at other ways where we know we have more engagement.
So it's still,
Because technology, like, we have so
It's
many
ever
options these
changing. Yeah,
days.
that's true. We use so many different things with our membership, with the members, and we have, unfortunately, we have older members, 65, a little older
Yeah,
than that. So we, and then we have younger members as young as 40. So we just try to
yeah,
look at different ways to, we have to be cognizant. We have older guys and younger guys, but to your point, nobody after 30 seconds, that's realistically it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and you're
And then
absolutely correct.
they have different apps like the band. I know we use it
yes.
at Morehouse. The band is
Hmm.
great to where people can actually see what's going on. Maybe a parent had something on. I know Dojo is old school, but the
yeah.
band and group me different ways to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Exactly.
what you're
Group me
saying.
is good. We use that as
Yeah.
well.
And the sports,
Better
like basketball
Unite.
uses band. You could even divide the group me's into, like, we use that as well at my
Departments.
son's school. Exactly. We use it for every, what they call homerooms as advisory. So every advisory has its own band.
Group
We
me.
have
I
a
like
fifth
that.
grade, I mean, not band, but group me. We have a collective fifth grade group me for like all the information, and parents can just jump in and say different,
Yeah.
things.
We actually have that for our members, our emerging 100, and we have it for
Yes.
Project Success. So I have one for
Yep.
middle school and high school students that goes out calling post and group meets.
Yeah. Because my D's
Now
in it for the
calling post
Drake,
is
Mr.
good.
Drake thing at your school at best.
Exactly. That's why
Mhm.
I got that from because we were at Morehouse. And the other one is Remind. So it just
Yes.
depends on which one. As a school, I think Mr. Williams, she's saying that maybe we can come together and figure out overall which venue would be more conducive to the parents and to everyone else, so they are eager to listen and pay attention and be engaged with what's going on.
And then maybe setting a time limit, no longer than like 45 seconds. Like, get it done.
Yeah. And maybe it's the same time, maybe it's twice a week. You know, so we, you know, I get it. Things come up.
It's
You want to
like
push it
dumping.
out.
You're saying that it's like a dump. It's like
It's
info
literally a
dump.
dump. It's
Okay.
literally a dump.
Mhm.
You have, because I do think our school admission is a bit too low, personally for me, especially when we're talking about two-way communication. So, like, what is the difference between the first bullet and the last bullet? And as a school, what do we define as consistent two-way communication?
So I think the difference between, I would say potentially in my mind, looking at the first one, I hear your point, is that the shared responsibility is looking at, I think, the dynamic. It is communication is a part of it, but it's also about what is that experience when the parent comes into the building. It's about how is that parent interacting with after school all-stars? How is that parent interacting with the partnerships at the school, whether it be the pods or different experiences? So I think it's the family engagement are those sessions that we're doing.
Mhm. And the key word I'm going to say is family engagement,
Thank
not
you.
two-way communication. That's the key.
Mhm.
So I think that's the difference. And I think you said, where was the word consistent? You were like,
Mhm.
so I think so let's say if it is like Ms. Light was just saying, if it is via GroupMe by the advisement, so then if there were that, then it would be consistent once a week or whatever that consistency is in terms of frequency, as well as giving, I think, the opportunities for parents to provide us that feedback and ask for that, let's say, on a weekly basis. So I think putting a measure on what that looks like, it could be more than that, but this was like, let's say this is the minimum of that.
I like it. I like it. That sounds great.
Mhm.
And so as we're kind of looking at the big picture here in terms of our objectives, so we have the first six was kind of what we had ordered previously. That highlighted at the bottom are the two additional ones that are aligned to the additional areas added at the district level for us. We are sparking student curiosity, as well as our efficient and effective. So we talked about number one, that definitely want increasing family engagement to be the number one. Where are those last two? Are they at the bottom two? Where are we thinking they should be in terms of out of the 8?
I think we are sparking student curiosity, since that is like one of our main goals by 2030 to increase AP courses. I think that should go under our strength as our team, because we want to have staff that can actually do those classes and make sure we get those students.
So you would put it below.
Principal
I would
Williams.
replace it. I would replace strengthening our instructional core. Just make sure you take the sentence or the information beneath that and add to it. So you can spark the student curiosity by strengthening the instructional core by that, looking at the data that's driven with it.
So Principal Williams, a question for you. This may not be for here, but at CSK, as it relates to AP courses, and I hear Markel talking about that, is there any way or any conversation about us potentially doing some AP courses together?
We have discussed it. We haven't finalized anything yet, but the conversations have begun.
Oh, okay. I figured that. I just think it adds value overall for both schools. So to be able to offer maybe additional AP courses for the boys and the young ladies.
Absolutely. And I think that we are sparking student curiosity. Ms. Epps-Primus is that headline, the added area for the district as a whole. And so I hear what you're saying, that we could maybe add that piece to kind of attach it to our strength as our team. But these are, each of the bold areas are what the district has highlighted as different areas. And we've been tasked to put in a particular objective within each of those. If that makes sense.
Okay. I like Markel's initial suggestion that it go beneath that strengthens the team
I
for
agree.
student curiosity.
Because with our middle high school, that's one of the measurable ways that we show success. And if I understand correctly, we offer all of the AP courses currently, correct? That because there's AP Lit, there's AP History, African American History, that is, and
So
math and English, right?
we do. We don't have it for currently for science.
Which is
It'd be AP biology. We don't have like an AP
oh,
biology.
biology. Gotcha. Got it. Okay.
We don't have that currently for. And thank you for that. And then how about our school is efficient and effective? As we look at the whole big picture, where would we want that to go?
I think that needs to go pretty high up because if we can be successful in these areas,
We
then
will
we
be
will.
those. Yep.
Correct.
I would put it beneath our responsibility is shared, the second one. Because if it's efficient and effective, then it leads to a better, the school, it would just run at a different rhythm.
It reduces the confusion ball.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Right. So we have our responsibility is shared, our school is efficient and effective. We are strengthening our instructional core. Our strength is our team. We are sparking student curiosity. We are caring for every child. And
Now I'm sorry. The two with the children, could we move those up beneath the family? Because we have the family, the child, then the organization.
So you're saying we are caring for every child.
We are sparking student curiosity and we are caring for every child. I would put those two beneath our responsibility is shared because we're focusing specifically on the children's growth. It goes back to that tier, family, child, instruction.
I see what you're saying. It's a good
You know
flow.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the flow.
Our responsibility is shared. Then, so we are sparking student curiosity. To then we're caring for every child.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Pereira.
You're welcome.
Okay. So you're saying going from family to the child to the school and kind of re-emphasizing going through it together. Okay. Anybody have any other thoughts or a change to consider?
I think the instructional. Can everybody hear me? Hello? Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I think the data part is important since we're very reliant on data. And I think if we put the data piece above we are caring for every child, we can use that data to know what we need to be flexible with the students.
So I can see that
You're saying we are sparking student curiosity, and in order to spark that curiosity, we need to know the data needs to push the what we need in order to continue to keep the spark going. So we go in and you're gonna bring it up to sparking the student curiosity?
Below the sparking, I would say.
I think he was saying because of if we know the data, then we are able to care for every child.
I agree. Then we know how to be intentional.
Okay. Any other suggestions?
Could you go back one more time? Yeah, one more time. Share. Now, could you tell me what's in red? What does that signify? And what's in bold font?
So the dark black is part of kind of like from an instructional standpoint, looking at at the district level. So you said just the bold in general, or the difference between the black and the red?
The bold black and the bold red. What is the difference between the two?
So the black is looking at it from like an instructional standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Red is beyond that.
So then at the bottom where it says our strength is our team, I guess because you're talking about STEM and needs of a student, that's why we allowed that to stay at the bottom where it says implement a STEM enriched curriculum to drive interdisciplinary. Is that why that's still there? Because those two go together?
No, it's because when you, so the instructional core, if you look at the data, that's our third one down.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
Down there, because that's still connected to the instructional core as a larger.
And as a team, that's what we're doing in order to continue to drive the approach. Correct?
Correct.
Got it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I kind of think that, well, I don't know. I was just thinking that the sparking student curiosity and like I don't know. I just kind of think where like our responsibility is shared should. I see why it's up top, but should it be first? Because the way I kind of see it is we know what is needed of the student based on where they are instructionally and all of that. But the support at home is required, right? So like, not that I mean, it's a, a two-way street, but like, I kind of feel like it should be stating what we're doing, and then the family is supporting what is necessary for the success of the scholar.
But I see that too. But if we don't get the parent engaged first, we have no students to teach or to spark the interest.
Yes, I understand.
I guess I was sort of thinking when you were saying is that if we get the students involved, we'll be able to bring in the family because they're eager about the opportunities that are presented. And so through the opportunities and the eagerness of the students, we can bring the family in to back us up. I think that's what you were correct.
Right. And like, because if you get the scholar excited about whatever it is that they're doing or need to do, in order to keep that spark, it has to be supported or flamed, if you will, which is what happens, which is what we want. That's the involvement we want from the families, is kind of how I'm looking at it. But I do see the reverse as well. So I kind of see like the instructional core being kind of like the top, and knowing where the scholar is and knowing where we are as a community and knowing where we need to be, and then sparking that and then supporting that.
Yeah, I think, you know, when I think about how we, as a school, what is our model? What is our signature program? Our signature program is STEM. And so we have that for a variety of reasons based on the strength of our team, looking at the needs of students, looking at SEL for adults. So I could personally see that maybe moving up slightly because of the fact that that is a part of our, we're going to be integrating, we have the new indoor ag farm. And so, and that sparks curiosity in itself. The agricultural farm STEM does too.
I like that. I like how you presented that as well, because then that supports too what Ms. Light was saying.
Yeah. And
You
I
gotta
think
get them
that's just,
excited for the parent to. It's almost like you gotta switch it up because, like she said, if the kid is not excited about getting it done, then the parent can't make that kid get excited. You gotta already have the excitement.
and like and someone said before about the data, like you got to kind of start with that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And
But
then, but
can
it
I
could be
ask this?
below the STEM piece.
I would like to ask, just based on working with children, you know, daily, if, and again, it may be just how I'm viewing a school. If we do not have the parents engaged and present, none of this flows.
Yeah, but Ms. Light is saying they don't have to be present. You gotta have a kid, and then
I understood.
yeah.
And I understand too from that perspective.
Either
Like
way.
I started by saying I understand that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that it's in order for us to be, and I kind of think that the measurement piece should kind of, well, data is a measurement piece, but the part of the efficiency piece, I think that kind of would drop a little bit and some of this other stuff will move up, because that's kind of how we're keeping the two-way communication and the way we're measuring if this is effective and efficient, like if this is working basically. So my thought is, it's like just like what we do as a school already. Like we bring them in and we assess just to see where everybody is, right? So that's kind of like the data. Once you have that information, then we know, and based on our strategic goals, we know where we need to be as a school. We can kind of address the student body. Like some students might, realistically, they're not going to go from, not learn all the way to a distinguished learner. They might move up. So we can see which students will move to be able to move our overall needle as a whole, which ones will be able to move where, right? So that's basically when we get into the data. And then from there, we know what classes, whether it's advanced or not, or maybe it's somebody that's in advanced, but really can't stretch and go to AP. So that will kind of accomplish where but basically either way, even if they're not going to advanced placement, we're sparking curiosity, whether it's through, like what Mr. Williams said, through the agriculture or through just different STEM careers, but just getting them curious about learning. And once, especially when you have unique opportunities like the agriculture piece, that is something that we can bring parents in to speak and engage. So it's like we have something to talk about beyond just basic math or English.
A few minutes. Hopefully they didn't go in the other meeting. So
hello?
Give me a few seconds and I'm gonna
see who that is.
Oh, I think that was somebody else's small thing. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I think I was just thinking about the parent engagement because I knew it was on the top list of one of those studies that we needed to work on. But I'm flexible with either way. As long as our focus is the children and it flows, it doesn't matter.
I agree, Ms. Hurd. I agree.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I think in looking at that, because I think which one of the bottom two do you think could move up? Our strength is our team, or that we are strengthening our instructional core? Which one of those two?
Our strength is our team, I think.
I agree. I
I
think if our
agree.
team
I agree.
Right. If the team is strong,
yep,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be able to push through. They're not
right. It's just like
strong.
a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so we're moving that one up. Are we moving that one up to right below instructional core, the data?
I think both of those should come up, and our school is efficient. Should to the bottom.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I didn't hear you. What was the last part you said, Ms. Springs?
I said the last two at the bottom should come up, and our school is efficient and effective should go at the bottom. To the flow.
Okay. And so when we do that, we're saying that we are going, that our strength is our team. Are we wanting that to go right below the instructional core?
I would say, you know what, guys, and tell me, if we don't have a good team, a strong team, me listening to a lot of principals being around for 24 years in the district, if you don't have a strong team and everybody on the same page as our mission, everything else is, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is just probably not going to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
But you all let me, you let me know that because you're in the classroom with the kids, but I think our team, if we got a strong team, we can make anything happen with our kids.
Yes.
Agreed.
So that goes first. Mm-hmm.
In terms of the,
And then put the strengthening our instructional core. Let's just put it second. Let's just see how it looks. And then the sparking. Or maybe the data, then the sparking. I don't know. Or the sparking and the data. I think the data comes
Load
first.
data first. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
Mm-hmm.
would suggest.
Yep.
And with the data, I mean, if our team's strong and our instruction's strong, guess what? We're gonna have that.
Mm-hmm. So we got the data, then we got the spark. And we're caring.
right. So we're saying, where's the family piece going?
Where is it? The partner, what was it? The responsibility is shared. Oh, this one. Ooh. I lost it. Okay, hold on. I say once we get to right after the sparking, in my opinion, I think the data goes after we're strengthening our instructional core. And then I think we are sparking student curiosity, and then our responsibility is shared.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Here's our new.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Teamwork. That's what I'm talking about. Teamwork. Effective.
Made the dream work.
Alrighty. Looks like we've come to agreement. Now, do I have a motion to approve the 2026-2027 strategic plan objectives?
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Motion was made by Ms. Bird, and the second by Ms. Pereira.
Pereira. Mm-hmm.
Objective rankings.
All right, objective rankings. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. The ayes have it. I believe that moves us to.
So we are, in terms of what's next for us, we're going to get in the February meeting, we're going to look at our draft budget and looking at the staffing conference. I will have that with our associate superintendent, and there are HR staffing conferences at the end of February. In March, we look at the final Go Team approval meeting, looking at this after the staffing conference and before Friday, March 13th, to have a vote recommendation before March 13th. any questions relating to the upcoming months, upcoming meetings we do there? Everybody should have received the email where there's an invitation for upcoming budget meeting. The district is asking and requiring that every member attend one of those budget meetings. The next one is on the 27th. And so that'll be at the same time, right at 5 o'clock.
Are they providing virtual? Is this some of the same training that we did before? I mean, explain to me. It's not redundant, is it?
No.
You know, the time is valuable. I don't want to spend an hour of our time, and we've done this already. For me personally, so
Right.
it's
different in that they're going through the initial allocation, like what's happening in the district, big picture.
Gotcha. Okay.
What's that date?
27.
And it's, I don't know if I received it or not, but I'll take a look. So, and it is virtual, correct?
I'll send it there.
Yes.
There's
It's
Okay.
virtual.
that are
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Principal Williams.
27th and 28th, yes. So it's two options there on the 27th or the 28th of January. We'll send that out. You can send that out.
I will,
Chair.
yes. I'll be sure to
Go.
share it with you.
Thank you. In terms of the principal, I did want to share with you just some data pieces from a CCRPI perspective. We have the data here that just shows how the movement from the 2024 to the 2025 school year. And in the middle school piece, we can see that for the last school year, 24-25 school year, that we went up in content mastery, we went down in progress, we went up in closing the gaps, we went up in readiness, and we went up in our single score that we have, that the CCRPI from the single score that we received. In terms of our high school, we see that in each area, content mastery, as well as progress, closing gaps, readiness, our graduation rate, as well as our single score. So kudos to the families working at home with our scholars, the students, our staff. Kudos to the whole entire team in making so much progress in both the middle school and the high school level. But I did want to share that with everyone so they could see what the progress was from the previous year to the end of the 2025 school year.
And these are the
Hey,
achievement gaps?
congratulations.
What is this exactly?
So content mastery looks at how many students, what was their score, whether or not, you don't get any points for beginning. You get half a point for developing, you get 1 point proficient, and then you get 1.5 points for distinguished. And so that's how you get your content mastery score.
Okay.
So these are achievement gap scores?
No, these are, so when you look at, there aren't achievement gaps. I'm gonna go over each one and then that may answer your question for you. Let me see if it does answer. And so for progress, what happens is they say, okay, Robert Williams, he was a developing learner. Here are all of the developing learners. How much did Robert Williams score the next year? Did he move up? Did he stay the same? Did he improve? So it's looking at comparing students, the average, kind of how they scored the previous year. What was their progress compared to their peers that had the same score from the previous year, similar score? And then closing the gaps is looking at 3% of where we scored the previous year. Did we increase by 3%? And so that's what closing the gaps is. And so when you look at over there in the middle section, we got 10.5 points, available points out of 12, as you're looking at that. And so that showed that we had an 87.5% closing the gaps.
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
And so when there's no graduation rate, so we're at readiness. Readiness looks at attendance, looks at students scheduled beyond the core, and looks at Lexile levels. What's their reading level? That's what readiness is. There's no graduation rate, and then the single score takes into account different percentages, different weights, and gives us an overall score out of 100.
And
Now,
this data is gathered from what test exactly? Or is it multiple?
test, but
Is
from
it the
the
GMAS?
milestones, GMAS milestones, end of grade tests, yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so then on the high school side, there's an additional score, there's the graduation rate that is the additional score for us.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
Very good.
And so we talked a little bit last time about the cluster advisory team report. We talked about attendance. Ms. Light was taking copious notes in that. And we talked, one thing that we added at the top was relating to the budget concerns, relating to small school supplement portion of the budget going away. That was a concern for the principals that were within our cluster, as well as, you want to take that second bullet, Ms. Light?
Yeah, so it was just discussed from leadership that budgets are determined based on who's enrolled at the start of school, but historically within our cluster, we have students that will arrive later on, like in September, October, and so those students aren't accounted for basically. And so my question that I asked the group is if this is a trend, and the answer is yes. And so my question is, well, if that's the case, then why isn't it considered, or they just don't, or they just ignore it and it just seems like it's ignored? So like we have to figure out a way to perhaps the budget may, or they need to wait for the count, you know what I mean, versus like at the start of school August 1st, perhaps it's at October 1st or something.
Yeah, because think about it, with our school, we can potentially get kids in throughout the year, I believe.
Correct.
Right?
Mhm.
So we should be
Absolutely.
penalized if we get a kid come in or multiple kids and we need the funding. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I mean, for us, I don't know about other schools, but don't
In our
penalize
cluster,
us.
for sure. And that
Yeah.
happens, they said every year, especially I believe the brother was middle school and like the lower schools. So one of the things that, and I don't know, we'll get into this later in these points, but one thing that was discussed, and I think that was even discussed with, maybe that was Ms. Hurd, or when we had that group meeting, where an idea was to, because with our neighborhood particularly, there's a lot of development, a lot of houses,
Right. It's a
you know,
transient. Mhm.
yeah,
It
that we,
trans. Yeah.
so if there is a way that we can be intentional about getting tours or having some type, back to that whole community engagement piece, a way that we can welcome families in, because again, I think best is really one of those best kept secrets,
Principal Williams, I don't know if this is possible, but I would like to see the trends throughout the district. What does that look like? I mean, our cluster compared to another cluster we get when they have kids coming in and out of their schools, and what that looks like. I'd love to see that data.
I'll try to see if I can see.
Yeah, because this, to me, that's kind of unfair. Not kind of, it is unfair.
It is.
So me looking big picture, no, that can't happen. So, I mean, for us, no, I definitely want to see. I know since COVID and after COVID, the district's lost a lot of kids, but I guarantee you, I would like to see us, compare apples to apples with the Washington cluster or somebody else, just to see how many kids they have coming in and out throughout the year.
Right. And especially since the small school supplement portion of the budget is going away.
Yes, exactly.
And then, you have to also factor in a lot of these children live in rental properties.
Yeah.
And leases change, at the end of the year. So
there's a lot of trends here.
To that.
Yep, it does. And you don't penalize us for that. I mean, there's
right.
I bet you the district as a whole, their turnover with students leaving or coming back is got to be. So if they did this throughout the district, I mean, this is essentially going to potentially hurt schools long term.
But this was something I saw in DeKalb County as well.
Okay.
Because I was at a Title I school there, and most of the population, they didn't own, they rented. And so the parents would make sure they had those leases where they could move during the holiday breaks.
I got you. Yep.
Mm.
You know, it was just
Interesting.
easier if they couldn't do it during the summer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Okay.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are a district, you know, we definitely based on that meeting, like took that back to the district and they are looking at that information. So I'll be
Okay.
able to give you an update at our next meeting in reference to that. And so the last piece, got the attendance piece last time, but the final at the bottom was that, you know, the budget in terms of maybe some positions being impacted by this are those sponsors who are actually making those calls to those particular schools. And so that was just something that was shared by our principals in the district in our cluster. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do have our upcoming Bill's Lab ribbon cutting ceremony. So we're really excited about that on January 28th at 10 a.m. So all are welcomed for the ribbon cutting ceremony. The Verizon has donated a lot of funds to be able to give us cutting edge technology in our lab. So we will be opening that up on January 28th. So we're super excited about that.
What is the lab?
So the lab's going to have virtual VR glasses. It's going to have 3D printers. Just going to be a lot of innovative items in there for the students to explore with. So we're really excited about that. It is primarily going to be for middle school students, but
Okay.
but of course we'll have high school students as well that will be participating in that. But the primary students are middle school students. Did you have any announcements or anything that you would like outside of that?
One announcement is that's the February 2nd board meeting. I will be able to be on that dais. If you all don't know what that is, that's pretty much what the board members sit on. Atlanta Public Schools board members sit on. I will be there representing for the students at APS.
Whoop whoop! All right, I see you, sir.
Nice. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congrats. Hey, do what you do. Make us look good.
You represent us well.
That's right.
There's the quarter zip.
We also were excited. Friday we had the basketball VIP experience, as well as we had a lot of families come out last Friday, so that was a great experience for the community members. Markel was taking pictures. He's everywhere. You'll see him. If Best is there, he's there, represented in one way or another. So thank you, sir. And thank you to everybody who helped make that event a success. Any other announcements?
I'd like to share that my gifted students, we're meeting for boys brunch and books at the Cheesecake Factory this Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have a book discussion on the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Colby.
I love it. I've read that. That's a really good one too.
So if you get a chance, come by and see us. I got them all quarter zips, and they said they were gonna order matcha. I said, okay, I'm with it. Let's do it.
Okay. Fancy.
I know, right?
As of right now, so on the calendar for the 27th of this month.
Yep.
So we have 15 students they'll be able to interact with. I believe she said four board members that have confirmed their spot on coming. So 15 students will be able to share their concerns, questions, or even give feedback to the board members. And so we're really excited about that.
Hey, it'll be awesome.
Public comment form, and there aren't any responses on that. This particular meeting was allowing for public comments. So I just wanted to share that. Right.
Alrighty. Without further ado, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn. I second.
Motion was made by Mrs. Singer. Ms. Harris second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.